Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fratello Talks. I'm your host, Nacho, and this week I'm joined by my colleagues,
Thomas
and
Lex.
And we are going to be giving you a part 2 to our Watches and Wonders 2024 coverage, and this time a little bit of a debrief. So checking
Watches
out
and
some...
Wonders. You forgot to say Watches and Wonders.
Watches and Wonders. What did I say?
You just said
Geneva
debrief.
Watch Week?
No, you
Debrief
said just
2024.
debrief.
It's a 2024 debrief. Okay, anyway, that's what we're doing this week. It's a Watches and Wonders 2024 debrief episode, covering some things that we missed on the first episode a couple weeks ago. And of course, before we do that, let's do a wrist check. Lex, what's on your wrist?
I'm wearing my trusty Chrono Swiss Time Master with the loom dial. The
Very
44 millimeter monster with the humongous onion crown.
Lovely. Very, very nice.
On a
You don't get a lot of
green-
loom dials. Not these days.
I've seen a lumen recently.
Oh, yeah. But that's not the dial, right? The dial is sapphire.
it's just the concept.
Yeah.
The concept. A very expensive concept.
Very expensive. This one, not so much, but still a lovely,
Not so
lovely
much.
watch.
Yeah, I think so too.
Fantastic. Thomas, what is on your wrist today?
Predictably, the VPC prototype. I mean, my other watches haven't seen the light of day since, so it's
Poor watches.
it's a bit predictable. But it's,
understandable.
No, but that's very, very cool. We know that it definitely got some attention at Palexpo for sure
It
from
did, yeah.
some curious journalists and actually brand
there was some
people
rubbernecking.
as well. So
Also, some PR pros were very, very into it. I remember our meeting at Doxa,
Yeah.
where you had some serious attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was someone
Coming
who
to
was,
an award ceremony near you.
Yeah,
No, let's
exactly.
see.
Yeah.
And also, of course, a little bit more hands-on coverage from some of our friends at some of the other media titles. We'll be perhaps following up over the coming weeks and months.
Yeah.
So
What
keep
are
an
you
eye out for
wearing?
that.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing an old Citizen. Actually, it's an NY0040. It's I think probably my first automatic dive watch, and the first watch that I actually took diving on Lanzarote. In 2019,
Where?
in March, Lanzarote.
Oh,
Lanzarote.
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 Oh, Lanzarote.
Yeah, I can't say it wrong if I don't.
No, I totally understand.
But it's an old Citizen. Bought it on eBay in Germany, and eventually also sourced the bracelet for it. And it's still doing its thing and keeping time.
It's
and,
a very casual Friday afternoon.
exactly.
Watch.
This is it's completely scratched up, but I love
can
it.
see. Yeah, the
I love
crystal
it.
is also scratched.
It's small, isn't it?
It's 40
really?
millimeters. So it's actually like it has a pretty good
Bigger than
good
yours.
size.
Yeah. Puts mine to
37.5,
shame.
but it doesn't have a bezel. So to be fair, we'll play
Yeah,
it some
yeah,
slide.
Mine's bigger though.
Yeah, come on. I mean, that's a no contest with that Chrono
Flashlight.
Swiss. Perfect. So I think one of the brands that we'll get into, it won't be the first, but it will be Chrono Swiss. Did you take a meeting with them?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let's actually jump into it with Chrono
Yeah,
Swiss.
yeah,
Why
yeah,
not?
yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
It's on your wrist. So what did you think of the new developments over at Chrono Swiss?
What's the new name again? Well, I keep forgetting the name of the new watch. Let me have a peek at my.
Let me fill up some dead air while you
do
Google
that. Oh look, here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, it was
There's the
that
Strike
one.
2. It's the
Strike
Strike
2.
2 and 2. There's two versions of the Strike 2, a 40 millimeter watch. There's one in blue, the H2O, and there's the what was it again? The Golden Gear. The
Yeah.
Golden Gear. That's the
Which was sort of gray and
very dark gray with
Rose gold
some
accents.
rose gold accents. It's a regulateur. Well, I went to see Chrono Swiss because I have something with Chrono Swiss.
You're a friend of the brand.
Friend of the brand.
Ambassador.
No, no.
Of sorts.
No, but hey, you know how it goes. You know, you have.
I went to see them too.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the two smaller ones. They said they were below 10K, but that was in Swiss francs. So in euros, they're 11 or something. But it was interesting. It was a nice movement inside. It's more old-fashioned. It had a little bit of a haute horlogerie look. It kind of reminded me of former De Witt creations. I don't know if you've seen those.
No, I'm not familiar with them, but I do know that Chrono Swiss has had also quite a dressy side. It's not all loom dials and
no.
46
Hey,
millimeter,
they don't do loom dials anymore. And I saw a new
Which is a
iteration
shame.
of their skeletonized chronograph, and I actually
that was
think,
lovely.
because I'm not the biggest fan, and that's putting it mildly, of their bright orange, blue, shiny, green, humongous. I think there's also
a blue
44
one, a purple
medium.
one.
Yeah.
These very bold and bright. We'll throw up an example on the screen.
I'm
for
not
people,
too crazy about that, but the new ones, the smaller ones, and the and also the revamped Chronos they did are actually really really nice and
very
interesting.
classy and unmistakably Chrono Swiss.
Yes, exactly.
Very,
So
very cool.
that was good to see. It's good to see.
Perfect. Very nice. So then let's move on. There's another brand that we didn't really mention last week, and I believe, Thomas, you spent a little bit of time with it, probably in a very sweaty photo booth. I'm talking about Panerai, of course. And their Luna Rossa novelties.
That was a very sweaty photo booth.
Yeah. RJ and I came in while you and Morgan were taking some pictures, and we immediately left because it was clear that two more people inside that small space could spell disaster. But what were your
sweaty
impressions?
photo booth in the sailing boat that was hanging off the ceiling?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh no! It was in the container.
It was literally a container.
It was a shipping container.
We were contained.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But
what did you think of the novelties? What was your
People in a
impression?
it was all Luna Rossa stuff,
Which was quite unexpected, actually, that it was just Luna Rossa.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at the booth, perhaps not, because it was a one-to-one reconstruction of the Luna Rossa.
It was a prototype of the boat hanging off the ceiling.
Sailing team, in case you're not.
Yeah, of course, the America's Cup sailing team.
The America's Cup team that they are affiliated with, that they sponsor. So everything with the Prada red stripe that you're not really allowed to call a Prada stripe, I think. It's
okay.
The Luna Rossa stripe.
Mm-hmm. But everything is sponsored by it's the Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli Panerai thingy.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Okay,
but
I will. You continue like this.
But so it was all Luna Rossa, which I mean, there was some fun stuff. There was some exotic materials there.
Yep. Ceratec.
Yeah.
Don't call it Ceratanium.
No, it's the same stuff. Do you know? And
you could see the same material in different presentations under different names.
I think it accidentally came to life or something. There was something. It took 7 years to develop. 7 years. I would think if something takes 7 years to develop, maybe stop after 3 years because it's probably a bad idea.
That's why you don't run
if it's not meant to work.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
I can imagine some Panerai or some Richemont watchmaker or materials developer like flicking a switch. It's alive.
Exactly. It's
like a mad scientist.
But it's what was it again? It's titanium, and then it's heated up to a certain point,
it's ceramized,
and then it turns into something else.
There's a ceramic layer on the titanium.
Yeah, that creates
which it's an interesting
like
material.
Mold,
I mean, it's light,
very hard mold. That's
a hard layer of mold. No, but it works. There's also Cerakoting, which is a thing that other brands, even micro brands, have done. I believe actually even RZE has done some Cerakoted models recently. But it's like a hardening process. It gives it a surface layer. It's very matte, and in this case, very blue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a little blue. There was one thing I was wondering through the. I was sitting at the press thingy, and they gave us some numbers about how many people watch the America's Cup. It was millions.
Yeah,
many millions. But have you ever? Now this is a question to you. Have you ever met someone who was enthusiastic about the America's Cup and was saying, next weekend, I'm spending the whole weekend at home in front of the television because I'm watching the America's Cup?
No. Outside of people who actually take part in the race or sponsor it, no, I have to say.
But that's kind of the impression I got from this drop. Like, it's all Luna Rossa stuff, and it's all very inward focused.
Very.
Look at us, we're Panerai, we're doing this with our partners. And there was very little attention to the Paneristi or the Panerai fan. It felt very self-focused, which was a bit lacking in that sense. There was a very cool, like the super high-end model with the tourbillon and what have you in the carbon. It was
GMT,
an impressive watch.
Sail.
Yeah.
But it was, it's a bit navel-gazing, I guess. I don't know. It's...
Navel gate. I like
Navel
that.
gate.
There's the navel.
You get it? You get it?
There.
Yeah.
Genius.
See what I did there?
Genius.
On the path to senior editor.
Genius.
The perfect.
Coming for you, Lex.
Excellent. So yeah, Panerai very a little bit monothematic, but hey, I mean, I like the one with the white dial, the slightly sort of the matte white dial. The cool. Sunburst dials I didn't think were that nice, but I think the
doesn't really work with the design. I think it's a bit.
Yeah. In general, it's a little bit like the Tudor models, co-branded also with the Lingy Red Bull Racing.
I think those are models. I think you present halfway through the year,
exactly.
Not at the biggest watch fair of the year. Exactly. At the biggest watch fair of the year, you present, I don't know, a new Radiomir collection.
I don't think it's really the same crowd. Like, I don't think the true watch aficionado is into these co-branded things. I think it's a very different clientele. Yeah. So indeed,
but I could imagine retailers coming into that booth and thinking, "Oh, this is it. This is what we're dealing with for now." I mean, I guess there's a roadmap for the rest of the year, but it still felt a bit monothematic. Yeah. What about? Were you guys at Hublot? Did you see Hublot this year? I didn't. So I hope you guys have something to say here. I mean, I know a little bit about the models that came out, but was there anything else?
I like the new green ceramic Big Bang.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Much more than the orange one, although they were very happy with the orange one because it's so difficult to make orange ceramic.
But they were so happy with it.
They're so happy.
They took it away from Morgan before he could take pictures of it.
Oh,
okay. And then they were disappointed when we left. Did you shoot the orange one? No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have. Well, you shouldn't have.
It's also quite a bit more expensive than the green one.
It was a bit messy,
but I do like their colored ceramic watches.
What did we think? What did you guys think of the 38 millimeter?
Expensive.
What was the price? Do you know? If
13 or something?
I think so.
Okay.
Or 11.
Okay.
Really, really expensive.
Okay, but they looked good.
Noticeably subtle for a Hublot. It was.
Yeah. And of course, it
wears
had
really well.
Subtle, very reliable Solita movement inside.
That's what you want.
Perfect. Serviceable.
That's what you want for 12, 11,
quiet luxury.
Above 10K. That's what
maybe not that. But.
I didn't dislike it, but then just go for a classic fusion that looks like an original. Then they have something original. They are original. The original Hublot is a very original and important watch. The gold with the rubber. Then if you want something like that, go for it. Don't go for something that is small and tries to get on the bandwagon. I don't really get that.
Okay. So no strong impressions there. More on the Big Bang. There was also a see-through sapphire.
That's fantastic.
Sapphire.
That's great. No, wasn't it purple? Purple see-through.
Purpley,
pinkish.
That was a completely see-through one as well, colorless one.
That's
always impressive.
It's very impressive because they do the sapphire casing in house. They grow their own sapphire.
As Morgan
crystals.
kept saying, "Don't drop it."
No. Don't drop any.
Don't drop any watch.
Don't drop anything.
He was constantly dropping watches.
Yeah,
it's the gloves, you know.
Yeah, slippery gloves.
Just dropped everything.
You should buy him some like more rubbery gloves,
like goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper gloves. Well, you see him spit in his hands before just for grip.
It's terrible.
I understand.
Can't take him anywhere.
Yeah, it's frowned upon.
It's frowned upon, but hey,
not at the parties, but during the day event, it's definitely
really,
frowned
upon. Sideways glances. No watches were harmed in the making of all of Fratello's spat upon. In the making of Fratello's content. Let's take a sudden left turn. What about Raymond Weil?
That's a right turn.
That's a right turn?
Yeah, it is a right. Left turn. Left is Louis Money. Right is Raymond Weil.
True. Okay, well, we'll take the left turn
really enjoyed Raymond Weil. I was pleasantly surprised by the millésime, the watch they won the GPHD with. Yeah. There was a green version on a bracelet.
I like that one.
Really liked. Yeah. I liked it. And of course, yes, is it a real Raymond Weil? Is it a bit of we take something from the general watch history and then we make it? Yes, it's definitely the case. But it's works. Also a very good looking
It
watch.
Works. It's done well. The case profile on the side is nice. The little
they did a good job.
The bracelet that they've picked for it is also neat. I mean, it's really they're going down a good path. We were shown a few things under embargo that we won't mention here, but still also good stuff coming from them.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like you said, I think pleasantly surprised is the right word.
There could also be Longines on the dial. There can also be something else
It's a very classic
on the dial.
Yeah.
It's definitely a generic kind of generic look. But I have to say that especially the green one, looked very attractive, and I think that's also important, right? If you're not looking at a 300,000 euro watch, you're looking at a more or less affordable luxury watch. You just want it to also just look good, and
definitely,
I think it definitely looked good. Speaking of looking good, did you also mention the 31 Nomos colors in the previous?
I believe we probably briefly touched upon them, but they're worth touching upon again. They definitely made my list of favorites from the show.
Yeah,
because what a way to debut at Watches and Wonders.
Exactly.
Just here's 31 of them.
Yeah, and they're also 175 euros cheaper than So that's what they said to me.
But 175 plus, I think 220. Because they count the I think they come with a open or the closed case back. They're all the closed case back, which makes it cheaper. So in total, they're open case back, but they throw that in for free, which is usually 220 euros.
Yeah.
So in total, they're 395 euros cheaper than the production model, and 175 is that they're limited to 175 of each color.
Damn it, I'm so confused always with numbers. But I thought someone from Nomos said to me
cheaper, but it's also the case back also comes in.
They're 175 euros cheaper,
and there's 175 of each of the 31 colorways.
Where do I get many color combinations that were really good?
Yeah,
because at first impression I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of color." But then looking closely at each, I was like, "Oh, I'd wear that.
I have to say, Nomos and their design agency Berliner Blau, they have been showing fantastic colors for ages now, as in superb colors with weird names, and color combinations. You would think, are you sure? But man, there's so many Swiss watch brands that have to.
Could take some notes.
Yeah, take some notes from what Nomos is doing.
Yeah,
excellent colors.
Probably, if I'm not mistaken, and I could very well be, but probably the most affordable release of the whole fair as well in terms of price. Right, at just below 2,000, I think.
Yeah,
117 something. So that's likely the least expensive watch release at the fair.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Still managed to really draw everybody in and to get plenty of attention.
I took 3 within the entire fair. They really stood out.
Yeah, they really stood out.
The people, the stand itself, the watches, obviously.
Absolutely.
It was quite...
It was
good.
It was a good first impression for Watches and Wonders. And I think, hey, good for them. It's a strong debut.
And it was one of the... I took 3 of... They had all the 31 colors on 31 postcards. So I took 3 postcards because it's also... How do you choose?
They said, take your favorite. I'm like, I don't know.
That's
but what would be
different.
your favorite? Do you have a name that comes to mind?
Oh, no, I forgot the name. But there was a
Sportbund?
The Sportbund was really nice.
Was nice.
There was also this red orangey thing.
Oh, that was fully orange and red.
Yeah.
I think that was I don't know what, Rambazamba.
Yeah, exactly that one. Wow, you remember it.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah, for sure. I think my favorite was probably either the Stop or the Super Sardine.
Yeah, the Super Sardine was nice. Yeah, you had Stop fantastic. And you had Go.
Yeah, Peace and Love.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name, but there was one that was sort of a paper white main dial with a red subdial. I really like that.
Isn't that
I think that's the Stop.
That's the Stop.
And
sounds like the Stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but that was one of the moments that I thought, I think I want one, and that was the same with Raymond Weil actually. I want one. I also had that at Eberhard & Co. Did you go to Eberhard & Co?
I didn't. What did you see? What did they show?
They have 2 new chronographs, and they designed the movement themselves, and then had Celita make them.
Okay.
And
is this with the linear subdials?
No, not the 4 because
kind of their signature.
Yeah, but thing. I don't like that one. I didn't like it when it came out, and it still didn't manage to warm me up.
Fair
but the new chronos are there. There's an automatic and a hand wound version, and there was a limited edition with a black dial.
Okay,
and it just looked the telemeter. Was it a telemeter? It was a telemeter. It was Beautiful. Just
Very nice.
just a very well done, not overpriced. I think around 6, which is still a lot of money. When I say it out loud, and
it hurts.
and it still hurts. But also in the case of Eberhard, I've been in contact with them for ages. I know the people. It was nice to. I'm not an ambassador. I've never owned an Eberhard in my life. Are you listening, Eberhard? I would love to. No, but no, nice people. It was just also a nice how do you say?
Just
Reuni. We say that in
Reunion.
That's an island.
Oh yeah,
true. That's an island.
True.
It's off the east coast of
Madagascar.
Africa. It's near Madagascar.
Anyway,
Mauritius. But no, that was good. I enjoyed that watch. Perfect. It was a good looking watch.
You somehow managed to get Africa back in the podcast.
I was made in Africa.
All right. Anyway,
how about Mont Blanc? Going back to Switzerland.
Oh, that's interesting. That
or Germany.
that zero oxygen diver they did. That
I found it suffocating. Sorry, I had to do that.
Funny.
No, it was an impressive thing.
We had the pre Watches and Wonders press release, of course, and we also had that diver, the green diver, in the office last year, and we were not too impressed. So now this year there were new iterations of the ice diver. And they actually, normally they would be in the Mont Blanc 1858 Heritage Collection, but now they got their own collection. So now this is the Ice Diver Collection because it's such a humongous commercial success.
Tell us about the zero oxygen thing.
I will.
Okay, perfect.
Just
I want to hear about the oxygen.
Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Just hold your breath.
Right.
Yeah, you get it. Okay. So anyway, so now they have this. So now they have this flagship diver in the Ice Dive collection. It's a zero oxygen diver, and it has the capacity to dive deep as 4,810 meters.
Is that?
You guessed it.
It's the height of Mont Blanc.
It's the height of Mont Blanc.
Clever.
Yeah,
clever.
So when you hear that, it's a little bit gimmicky and everything. I think it's, but in reality, it's a good-looking watch. It's a good-looking dive watch, and the dial is not too flashy because that was a little bit the problem with the ice divers. Is that you have a dive watch, you can't tell time because of all the stuff going on in the background.
Yeah. They tone those down a bit.
Yeah, in this case, I was really pleasantly surprised. The price is a little steep with 8,900 euros.
Okay, yeah.
And then I say, well, there's nothing comparable in this price segment that can go as deep as this one. But then again, how many people not the ones that watch the America's Cup?
Yeah, I was thinking about
there's
it's like 6K.
Yeah, but that one is unwearable, isn't it? That's that
to
humongous...
me, but if you ask Gerard or RJ, they both really liked it.
Okay, but these are monsters of men.
Monsters of men.
Yeah, but this Mont Blanc is actually wearable.
Yeah.
So it was. I was actually quite surprised by that. Positively surprised. Yeah. We'll have that in the office, by the way.
Oh, very nice, perfect. So we'll follow up with a little bit of a hands-on with some.
We'll throw you in the lake wearing one.
Wonderful. Into the canals out
here. To the canals you go.
Oh my God. Perfect. Yeah. So you still didn't tell me about the zero oxygen thing. So
well, there was a zero oxygen case.
Yeah, but the zero oxygen case means that they remove all
they remove all
oxygen
air
from inside
okay,
the case.
So the idea is because when there's zero oxygen, the watch will never fog.
Never rust.
It will never rust. So so it's better for the movement.
Yeah.
So,
but is it like Zin does with the alternative gas pumped in?
I have no knowledge about.
Do they build them under a vacuum? I'm not sure. Yes. We'll have to look into this. Perfect. And then what else did we not talk about? Surprisingly, and you will be shocked by this. I'm surprised nobody really commented, but we didn't really mention IWC.
Yeah, but I think IWC was one of the highlights of the show.
Yep, I think so, and for a good reason this year. I'm not going to get too mean about the engineer and its beautiful clasp, but I think that the Eternal Calendar is very impressive.
It's super impressive. I like when this very historical complication gets an update that is actually helpful. With the one wheel that turns once in 400 years. I mean, that's the stuff,
that's
right?
The spirit.
That's the spirit of true watchmaking.
Exactly. Just taking it to the next level. Because people say, oh, well, what's the next level? Do you do, you're never going to be more accurate than quartz. And then you go, well, yeah, but mechanically you can still, apparently there's still very impressive ground to break.
And they showed us the layout of the wheels and everything. I thought it was just thoroughly impressive stuff.
Incredible.
And also the moon phase that will be accurate to in one day and for the next 45 million years.
Yeah,
but also the eternal calendar that is set to 3,999 because only then we're going to decide how we're going to carry on with the leap years. I thought it was super impressive. And on top of that, it wasn't crazily expensive. It was very expensive, of course, but I think it was 150 something. Yeah, if you compare that to some of the other stuff we've seen,
to the Lange, Piaget and the Lange, which are 600.
Above 600.
One of those glows and the other one is thin. This one's an eternal calendar.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah. Hey, I have something that glows.
Oh, imagine if they loomed the Piaget.
That glows already.
Imagine if they loomed the Piaget, it would be 1.2 million.
My God. You double it in price at least.
And also but also the Portuguese of the eternal calendar, it you could wear it, and it proportionally it was fine. It had a very nice dial with the paint
layout.
Would you pick it over the blue duomètre?
Oh, the blue duomètre. I think, did you talk about it?
We
that was
JLC,
so good.
But I think we focused more on the helio turbine. We spoke a little bit about it, but that was the apple of your eye.
Oh, it's so good. It's so pretty. It's just, and it's such a technically it's an interesting watch. Aesthetically, it's pleasing. The finishing was superb. It was just
the feeling of it in the
hand. The smoothness of it. Oh my God.
There's no transition between the case and the crystal.
Exactly.
It's just a pebble. It's really
inspired by
so
Sabonet pocket watches.
Yeah, the Sabonets.
Truly a smooth operator. That one.
Yeah.
A wonderful watch. And I think other than that, we have kind of ticked everything off the list there. But we can maybe wrap up with some general thoughts. You want to talk about Bremont?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
I already talked about Bremont.
Did you talk about Bremont?
A little bit. But there will be an article that will have either gone up or will be soon going up.
There was actually an interesting comment I read somewhere under something non-Bremont related, but it seems that our commenters are very into the whole Bremont thing, and they even asked me to when you're going to write about Bremont, and I don't know. I will probably do that. One of the commenters said, we can all hate on it, we can say whatever you like, but if you don't like it, simply don't buy it. Why do you want to keep on bashing Bremont? You don't like it, then it's not for you.
And they maintain a lot of the models that people will either also like or not like, but that are still like the MB stuff, the triptych case models, like those are still in the catalog. But we'll give a more thorough. It's something that we wanted.
I need a little distance to organize my thoughts. But I do want to, because every year I pick a Louis Moinebu that I like.
Yes,
and this year is no exception. There was a tourbillon version of the Memoris Spirit. They called the Auto Spirit, I think, or. I think it was Auto Spirit. It was a prototype.
Racer Spirit? Something like that.
I can look it up on my gram.
They didn't show them to me. They showed me the
they had the wrong tourbillon case. It was pink gold instead of should be black, but it still had that nicely domed crystal. The mono pusher. You could also have it like the one you could have your personalized number. So like your racing number. I just like everything about that. I like the titanium case, the domed crystal, the way the movement is laid out. It's just such a
shockingly wearable watches.
Exactly.
The size you think they could make this 43, but actually it comes in at a very wearable wearable size. So it's very impressive.
Yeah,
always.
yeah. So again, this was was a very nice surprise from Louis Monnier.
Thomas, what was one of your highlights? Perhaps something that we haven't mentioned yet, or even something that we have mentioned already. But
one that
something that stood out to you
that sort of flew under the radar because there wasn't really a big release or anything. But Ferdinand Berthoud was there, and they had a lot of watches there that we could handle and try. And man, it's out of this world. There's 300 hours of hand finishing in the caliber alone.
Yeah.
And it shows. It's so extremely lovely to look at. And I actually had a conversation with my dad and trying to explain, and he was like, but what's the magic there? And I said, well, it's this thing. If you've never handled something of that level, and there's others, but it feels like all of a sudden you've put on your reading glasses and everything is HD.
Well said.
Or something. It's like everything is sharper. Everything is.
We were there together 2 years ago. Was it
2 years?
ago?
Yeah, I didn't see them this year, sadly. But
you don't in normal life. If you don't handle super high end watches, you just don't get to handle objects that are that nice.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing. It's a weird experience. It's really like all of a sudden the world is in HD. It's that much sharper than whatever else you see.
And it's an interesting thing, right? Because this also comes to the fact that this was your first time at Watches and Wonders. So it was really like that's kind of where the value for us as editors and writers for a watch magazine comes in. It's the fact of seeing these watches, getting to see them in person, and transcending the press release, online images, online renders.
Yeah, well, exactly.
It's to give a
something like a Berthoud for sure, but even the Mont Blanc was just way better than I expected from the press release, and it's the same with the jeans like straps on the Pateks. It's very easy to say, it's just ridiculous. But then you see the thing in real life, you put it on, you feel the texture of the strap, and they're actually kind of cool. It
was the Aquanaut that won me over.
We had the same experience with the HYT, right?
Oh my God! Yeah, that's that was outside Watches and Wonders, but those HYTs were superb. Yeah. How they managed to make every iteration attractive is a miracle.
Yeah, I was like, I'd pick this one. Oh no, I'd pick that one.
Yeah,
they were all
and they said, you can also change the strap changing system was great,
really
and then they worked with different colors. That was on the Monday, of course, before the whole shebang really started. So we're still fresh.
What are our general, just to wrap up, what are our general impressions of the show? Obviously, the word has been throughout the last 2, now probably by the time this is out, 3 weeks, that it was a bit of a slow show, that it was a bit of a Watches and No Wonders.
I think it's both. It was both slow and it was also incredibly interesting. Yes, if you take Patek and Rolex, it was just variations on a theme. So in a way, it was a little bit slowish, and there were some brands that were definitely underwhelming. But on the other hand, you had the IWC Eternal Calendar. There was the new Diameter collection. There was fantastic stuff from Berthoud, and there were other smaller brands that like Nomos and Rimmel Wild that impressed with some affordable and some nice and some surprising stuff. So yes, there was a part that was a bit underwhelming. But there was also, I think, still a lot to enjoy.
Exactly, and a lot to unpack, which is why we've dedicated these 2 episodes to Watches and Wonders. But there will be plenty of hands-on content with some of the pieces that we saw there that will come out as Morgan slowly but surely, or actually quickly but surely, chucks through all the edits on the pictures, and so everybody can sort of look forward to that, or will have seen some of that go up on the website.
Did we discuss best lunch item in the
best lunch item? Yeah. Hands down winner for the compressé d'agneau, right? The compressed lamb,
compressed.
Like a shepherd's pie, but Swiss.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Did you have the compressed?
I did not have that.
No. But then you have to come back next year.
I had a poke bowl.
A poke bowl.
A bowl of salmon, right?
A bowl of salmon, yeah.
Perfect. Shout out to Tom, who was also there, and I believe we shared bowls of salmon with a bowl of salmon. That was a very meta
Can we stop
experience.
now, please?
We can stop.
Inception of Watches and Wonders.
Squeeze you out here. Perfect. So I think we'll wrap up with a comment of the week. It's a very self-indulgent comment of the week.
Why?
But you'll have to allow me to do this because, well,
should we
leave? You don't know any
other
other comments of the week, do you? You don't have one? No? Perfect. Then we'll go with this one. It is from KRBY555, and he says, "You guys are easily the best watch chat out there. Low-key vibe, but also serious, collectors, etc. Easy to take this all too seriously, and you guys strike a good balance."
Oh.
So kudos to us, and thank you to. Yeah, I said it was self-indulgent. I warned it. We'll only go with extremely critical comments or the roundup on our chosen outfits for the day, which also has been an ongoing thing that I found quite entertaining. But yeah, that's it. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining me for this far more civilized Friday afternoon discussion. And yeah, of course, thank you for tuning in. And make sure to like, comment, and of course, tune in next week for another episode of Fratello Talks. See you then.